Jumbo friends, everybody means welcome, so welcome aboard. If you don't know the party on the truck, stay behind the yellow line. Your whole party is on. Sante's on awarded. Here in Harambe, we like to say Twende. Twende does mean, let's go. Well, Jumbo everybody, my name is Savannah. I'll be your safari guide today through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Is this anybody's first safari ever? Raise your hand high in the air if it's your very first safari. Hi guys, welcome aboard. A few good safety reminders, please do stay all the way seated on your seat. That means don't stand. Just don't do it. Our very first stop here today is in the voluntary forest, home to nature's shyest creatures. They do tend to like to camouflage, so we're going to keep a good eye out and we'll see what all we can spot around here today. So keep a good eye, look behind the bushes and the trees around here. We'll see if we can spot anything hiding using that camouflage. And there are plenty more eyes back there as well, so if you guys do spot something I don't, let me know. On your right hand side though, if you guys look kind of behind the bamboo right there, kind of in the corner, there's a tiny little antelope laying down, kind of looks like a rock. That's a yellowback duiker, just laying down kind of in the corner by the little cliff side and the bamboo right there. Yeah, that's a yellowback duiker. Now the yellowback duiker gets its name from the Afrikaans word meaning diver. When frightened, it's going to dive into the dense vegetation and emit a piercing whistle sound. And that was not a baby, that was an adult yellowback duiker. Actually the largest of all the duiker species. Alright, still keeping a good eye behind the rocks and the trees.
Looking.
Alright, looks like up ahead of us there are some antelope for us to spot up ahead in the corner.
I'll see it.
Get a closer view of them in just a second here.
Yep. Still. And don't go off front. That's rough. I can try.
Alright, so coming up on your left hand side here in just a second, looks like there are some bongos to spot over here. And also some greater kudu. So these orange antelope you'll see first are some bongos. Now bongos, they are known as the ghost of the forest because they're usually pretty good at hiding, which they're not really demonstrating for you right now. And they've also got those really heavy horns that are going to lean backwards, which helps them to glide through the dense vegetation. And then these light brown antelope in the corner over here are some female greater kudu. I can tell they're females because they don't have any horns. Male kudu have spiral horns that'll grow to 6 feet long. Yeah, a little hard to miss. Alright, now we are going to be heading out of the Little Leteri Forest and into the Safi River. We'll have to keep a close eye on the water. We'll see if we can spot anything just beneath the water's surface. So what do you guys think we're going to see in the Safi River? Any guesses? What did I say? What was that? Or crocodiles? Maybe crocodiles? Hippos around here? So we'll definitely have to watch the water. Sometimes they like to swim in the very, very deep parts of the river, so you might just see a pink ghost at the very bottom. Ooh, or out of the water. So coming up on your right hand side, it looks like there is a hippo actually out of the water. We'll get a closer view in just a second here. Now hippos typically stay in the water to keep themselves from overheating, but it's really nice weather out today, so hippos come to join us out here on land to get some food, to come out and graze. When they are in the water, they can stay completely under the water for up to 8 minutes at a time. Alright, we're about to get a good view of the hippo coming up on your right hand side. Yeah, hippos will actually sleep under the water as well. Every 8 minutes they'll just float up to the surface and take a breath and float back under the water, all while still asleep. Yeah, definitely a hungry hippo, that's for sure. And on your left hand side over here, looks like there's a couple more hippos to spot just scattered about in the water over here. Yeah, whenever you see hippos together in a group, they're going to be called a bloat. It's a bloat of hippos. And hippos will communicate in wheeze honks, or sometimes honk wheezes. So that is their vocalization. They can actually tell each other apart by their wheeze honks, kind of like humans can with voices. And they're going to use it especially at night. Sometimes they travel very far away from the river. It's important to be able to keep track of each other when they come out to graze. On your left, you'll see some very large white birds on the island here, kind of up ahead. These are some pink-backed pelicans. Now, pink-backed pelicans get their name from the pinkish coloration that they'll get during mating season, sort of like they're blushing. And they are going to have a wingspan 7 to 9 feet in length, which is actually the width of our trucks to give you a good idea. Now as we make the turn around the corner here, keep a good eye on the water. As I said, you might just see some hippos swimming around somewhere. Now hippos can swim, but they can also walk or run along the very bottom of the river. So as I said, sometimes they kind of look like a pink ghost at the very bottom. A baby calf will weigh about 85 pounds. Fully grown male hippos weigh 5,500 pounds. But I do spot coming up on your left-hand side, there are lots and lots of crocs over here, some Nile crocodiles. And you'll notice almost all of them are out on the land right now. Just like hippos, crocodiles will go in the water to keep themselves from overheating. But again, very nice weather today. Now these crocs will grow over 16 feet in length and weigh over 500 pounds. Their strong jaws touch the bones of their prey, which could be anything from small fish to just about anything across in its mouth. On that note, let's get on out of here, shall we? Now the Nile crocodile can also eat up to half of its body weight in a single feeding. That's 250 pounds. And the crocodile lay eggs, the male and female are actually going to roll them in their mouth to help them hatch. If a female crocodile feels like her babies are being threatened, she's also going to put them in her mouth. So those strong jaws that crush the bones of their prey also help protect those little babies. Here in just a moment, we are going to be entering into the savannah. And the savannah is home to a lot of recognizable species that you first think of when you think of a safari. So hopefully around here we might spot some lions or maybe giraffe, rhinos, elephants. We'll see what we can spot. Now the savannah is also very flat with very little trees. So you'll probably spot some animals that are very far away. We'll wait till we get just a little bit closer to each animal before chatting about it. The savannah also stretches on for miles and miles, and most of these animals are migratory. There's a pretty good chance you may see some animals more than once. Now this here coming up is actually my favorite view of the whole safari. The beautiful savannah landscape is actually maintained by the animals that inhabit it. So the elephants knock down the trees, which makes all these pathways here for the migratory species that pass through. Giraffe will prune the trees, and the antelope will mow the grass. Yeah, no small parts. Small enough.
Mommy, you scream.
Yeah, you'll see all the way out there. There are those giraffe. As I said, we're going to get a closer view of them here in a little bit. You can see them all the way out there, though.
How rough is it? Where's the giraffe at my phone? I saw it.
Up ahead of us here, it looks like I do spot some African wild dogs. Just got a glimpse of them here. We'll get a better view in a second.
I know.
Alright, so up ahead on your left here, you'll see running around are lots of African wild dogs. Now these are not hyena, but they do look very similar. African wild dogs are very successful hunters. So they're going to work together as a pack and take down their prey by tiring them out. They will hunt their prey to the point of exhaustion. And they are successful 90% of the time. Now they are very cute, but you would not want to have one of these guys as a pet. Now they're actually one of the most dangerous animals out here, so maybe make a pros and cons list beforehand. Coming up on your left-hand side, there are some darker brown antelope over here. These are sable antelope. Now the sable antelope are actually the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They're going to use those antlers, band together as a group, and defend themselves against predators like lions that can pounce upon them. So yeah, they're pretty fearless. In a fight or flight situation, sable antelope will almost always choose to fight. And coming up on your left-hand side over here, lots of Ankole cattle. Now the Ankole cattle are the only domesticated animal that you're going to find here on the reserve. That just means you'll never find a wild Ankole cattle. And these very large horns on their heads are going to act as a cooling system for them. Their blood will circulate through those horns, which disperses the heat to keep them cool. Now those horns do look very heavy, but they're actually quite hollow, so they don't really weigh a lot at all. Now you'll also never find the Ankole cattle in the meat trade. They're almost always used as a symbol of wealth, especially to the Maasai tribe of East Africa. So the more Ankole cattle that the Maasai has, the wealthier they are. And those giraffe and baby giraffe to spot up ahead here as well. So first you're going to see some springbok coming up on your right. Now they're kind of those tiny itty bitty little antelopes, sort of look like s'mores on legs. Yeah, those are springbok. And those are not babies, those are adult springbok. They're only going to grow to be about 3 feet tall. But believe it or not, they're actually the third fastest land mammal. Whenever they are pronking, they can go up to 55 miles per hour. That's almost as fast as a cheetah. Springbok also get their name from how they can spring 6 feet into the air or 13 feet while they are pronking forward. And up ahead you'll also see some wildebeest over here. White-bearded wildebeest migrate in herds up to 1.5 million, traveling 500 to 1,000 miles every single year. Out in the middle, you'll also see those Patterson Zealand. Those are those light brown.
I see a giraffe.
Sort of in the middle there. And you'll see there's one that's a little bit smaller. Yep, that is a baby Patterson Zealand over there. It's a male, a little baby male. Yeah, male eland will grow to be 6 feet tall at the shoulder. Very, very large antelope species. We'll definitely keep a good eye out around here to see if we can spot that male eland somewhere. But up ahead, of course, there are these giraffe. We're about to get a good view of this giraffe coming up on your left-hand side in just a second. I said they're the tallest mammals in the world. They are going to tower 18 to 20 feet tall. Whenever a baby giraffe is first born, it actually stands about 6 feet tall. Within its very first hour of life, it's already standing up and walking around. So pretty accomplished in that first hour of life. And whenever you see giraffe all together in a group, they are called a tower. So a group of scared giraffe is a tower of terror. Thank you, thank you.
A tower.
These are some Maasai giraffe around here. I can't tell by the patterns on their coats. So Maasai giraffes sort of have splotchy, kind of randomized dark spots. Whereas just pictured above your head in the animal spotting guide, you'll see a reticulated giraffe. Dark spots there are a little bit more defined and closer together. You still see some giraffe on your right-hand side over there as well. But it looks like up ahead there's a fallen tree coming up on your right, which is usually a pretty good sign. We are headed into elephant country. So keep a good eye out around here. Oh, actually, looks like there is an African elephant to spot. He's kind of hard to see though. And if you look up in the middle of the bushes right here, yeah, he's just hanging out. We'll see if he moves at all, but yeah, he's just kind of hanging out right over there. No worries, we'll hopefully spot some more elephants up ahead. But this is probably an African bull elephant, which means it is a male elephant. Male elephants tend to be just a bit more solitary, while the females and the young all stay together in the herd. Male elephants will sometimes form bachelor herds with 2 or 3 male elephants, but for the most part, they do remain solitary. They're usually going to leave the herd with their mother in their teenage years. If you look through the bushes right there on your left out in the middle, there are some monkeys just walking past those bushes back over there. Those are some mandrills. If you look in between the bushes, they're walking around back over there.
Hi there.
Now, mandrills are one of the largest monkey species. Males are going to weigh about 100 pounds. And the females are only going to weigh about 30, so they are significantly smaller. They almost look like babies compared to those males. The males also have that blue coloration on their face. It's going to get brighter as they get more excited. So we did see that male elephant. You can kind of see him again if you look to your right. It's over your right-hand shoulder. He's all the way back over there. Yeah, you can kind of see the full view of him a little bit there. He's just kind of far away. But yeah, as I said, we're going to go see if we can find an elephant herd up ahead. So hopefully lots more elephants to see. We'll see what we can find. Now, elephant herds are comprised of the females and their young. So they're going to be led by a matriarch. And the matriarch is the oldest and the wisest of the herd. She can actually remember where she's been, even if it's been decades since she's been there. So she'll know all the best watering holes. And it looks like up ahead here we're actually just about to enter into some red clay pits, which is usually another pretty good sign. There might just be some elephants to spot up ahead here. And they actually eat the red clay. It provides a lot of nutrients for them. They also use it as a natural sunscreen along with sand or soil. You know, whatever they can get their trucks on. If you look to your right-hand side, there are those test marks in the clay from where the elephants were eating it. And as I was saying, they use this natural sunscreen along with sand or soil. Elephants have very sensitive skins. They're going to use whatever they can find around them to keep them cool. So elephants are actually not gray. They are actually not brown either. They are black because they are covered in that red clay, sand, or soil. It makes them look like they're gray or look like they are brown. And we'll get a better view of them in just a second from the front as well. Now, farmers in Kenya have actually learned elephants are afraid of bees, or more specifically, the sound that bees make. So they're going to put beehives or beehive alarms surrounding their fence lines to protect their farmland from elephants trampling it. This also protects the elephants from being hunted. One elephant is killed every 15 minutes. We're doing everything in our power to protect these elephants and elephants all around the world, especially little baby elephants when they're Elephants are very social creatures. They can spend all day long with the whole entire herd, but at night those little babies are going to have a curfew. They're going to go back home to their mamas. Now on a particularly warm day, you might see elephants flapping their ears. That's going to be to keep themselves cool. It's kind of like a personal fan. They can lower their body temperature by 10 degrees just by flapping their ears. They'll also cool themselves down by heading over to the watering hole down here. They might get a drink of water or splash it onto themselves or even just dive right in. Whatever works. You'll often find lots of really cool animals here at watering holes around the savannah. Some great socialization spots.
I see it.
Coming up on your left-hand side, you're just about to see some greater flamingo. Now the greater flamingo are the tallest and the lightest pink of all the flamingo species. Look at that pink coloration from the brine shrimp that they eat. It is packed full of beta-carotene.
It looks so pink.
And coming up on your right-hand side here, you'll see lots more wildebeest, and of course, again, those patterns eel. And you can see a closer view of a little baby eland right over here on your right-hand side. He is so cute.
Yes.
Now, whenever a baby flamingo is first born, it's going to be a grayish-white color. After about a year and a half of eating that brine shrimp, they will get their pink coloration. Now, whenever you see a group of flamingo all together like this, they're called a flamboyance. Yes, friends, it is a flamboyance of flamingos, and no, I can't make these things up. Alright, looks like on your left-hand side over here, there's actually a really big wallow of mud out in the middle of the grasses. It looks like there's been some traffic through there, so it's a pretty good sign. There may be some rhinos to spot around here somewhere. Now rhinos, they love to roll around in that mud. It's actually kind of like a natural sunscreen for them as well. It's also going to protect them from bugs like ticks. And it's nice to have a little mud bath. Oh, but if you look to your right, I'm going to slow down here. You can see up ahead there are some ostrich to your right. They're kind of headed up towards the left though, so maybe we'll see them again here in a little bit. However, they love to run around, so we'll see what they do. But yeah, there are those ostrich up there if you can spot them. Now they are the largest birds in the world, but they can't fly. So they're going to use their wings to change direction while running. And they can run up to 40 miles per hour. And those were some female ostrich that, from what I could tell, female ostrich have gray feathers, whereas male ostrich have dark black feathers. And as I said, hopefully we'll see those ostrich again in a little bit. We'll see. I'm still keeping a good eye around here for those rhinos. It does look like up ahead there's actually a couple of cheetah over here. So there's one cheetah if you look directly towards the left, kind of in between the trees, out in the grasses in the middle out there. There's one cheetah there, and there's another one up ahead kind of hanging out in the corner over here. So we'll see if we get a closer view of this cheetah in the corner up ahead. Just laying down as well. Now cheetah, they are the fastest land mammals. They can run up to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. Now cheetah, they've also got those little black teardrop marks underneath their eyes. Those work as natural sunglasses for them. They'll reflect the sun's rays, making it a little bit easier for them to spot their prey. And up ahead of us here are some Kopi rocks, home to a bit of a bigger cat, the lion. So we'll see if we can spot any lions around here. Now they are inactive 16 to 20 hours a day. They spend all day long, literally, asleep or resting, you know, just lying around. Now the reason for that is during the day, lions do have the same eyesight as us. At night though, their eyesight is going to get 6 times stronger. So at night is when they do their hunting. Now it's actually going to be the lionesses, the females, that will do the hunting, while the male will stay back and protect the cubs and the Kopi rock here. Their roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. And just a little bit coming up on your right-hand side, you're going to see there's an antelope over here. This is a bontebok. Now the bontebok, they were once nearly hunted to the point of extinction. There were only 17 left in the whole world. So they were hunted as pests or as competition for farmland. Fortunately though, there was a farmer had the good sense to fence in the remaining 17 bontebok and saved the entire species. Now, they are still considered extinct in the wild, but due to conservation efforts, their numbers are actually getting pretty close to the thousands. So they're just hanging out on conservation land for a little bit longer, until their species is considered totally safe and totally stable. But going from 17 bones a block to nearly thousands is definitely a conservation miracle. On your right hand side, as I suspected, there are those ostrich again, and also lots of rhinos. Told you guys to find some rhinos around here somewhere. But how could I not? We'll actually see them again in just a second, because coming up on your left, I do spot those lions on your left up ahead. We're just on the edge of those Kobe rocks over there. We'll get a closer view in a second. Now, ever since the Lion King movie came out in 1994, we've actually lost half of the world's lion population. Due to habitat loss and hunting of lions, there are currently 20,000 lions left in the world, where a little over a century ago, there were 200,000 lions. To put that in perspective for you all, there are more guests in Animal Kingdom today than there are lions in the world. Now, if you want to learn more about what Disney Conservation Fund is doing, partnering with Lion Recovery Act to help save these lions and their population, just stop by any merchandise location around the park. They'll be happy to tell you a lot more about what Disney is doing and what you can do to help. And if you guys do come back just a little bit later tonight after dark for our nighttime safari, you might have some better luck seeing them just a bit more up and about. Yeah, you might even get the chance to hear them roar. But I can't make any promises. They are cats. They're going to do as they please, and they mostly just like to sleep. Lions actually sleep so much all day long, they're only awake for 3 years of their life. On your left by the tree here, there's some warthogs walking around. I was going to say there's a furry rock with tusks. Yeah, these are warthogs over here. Now, warthogs come from the same family as the domesticated pig, and they've got some razor-sharp tusks they will bear when they feel threatened. Then they just back themselves into burrows, just like these ones down here. Now, sometimes it is the burrows of other species, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, good view of the big crash of white rhino coming up over here on your right. Whenever you see a rhino all together in a group, they're called a crash. You'll also see there are some ostrich, those ostrich that we saw before just by the truck over here. Oh, and some ostrich eggs under the tree over here. Those are some ostrich eggs, yeah. Now these are a white rhino on your right hand side, and as you might be able to tell, they're not white. They do look a bit brown because they're totally covered in that mud, but these white rhino are actually gray. So they get their name from the Afrikaans word "wit," which means wide. Not white, with a very wide set jaw. Now it's a little bit wider set than a black rhino's jaw. White rhino are going to weigh about 5,000 pounds. Unfortunately, they are hunted for the keratin in their horns, which serves no scientific or medicinal purpose. It is the same substance in your hair and in your fingernails. So they can actually file their horns just like you file your nails into whatever shape they'd like. There's actually a very small percentage of rhino that will shape their horns upside down. Very small percentage of rhino though, you'll hardly ever see that. Did you also know that a rhino can gallop like a horse? They can have all 4 legs off of the ground at the same time. They're surprisingly very agile. Alright, but it does look like we are coming towards the end of our safari here today. But the fun doesn't have to end here. Whenever you go back home, even you can be a conservationist just by simply taking out the recycling. It is such a small thing you could do that would make a very big difference in these animals' lives. You can also recycle your old cell phones and laptops when you're done with them. In the production of your cell phones and laptops is a metallic ore called coltan. It's actually mined in elephant habitats. So whenever you recycle your old cell phones and laptops, you're helping save elephant habitats. Therefore, you are saving the elephants. Now as you exit out of here today, and you do head back into the village and to the rest of the park, stop by any merchandise location and make a donation to Disney's Conservation Fund. Disney is going to match dollar for dollar whatever you choose to donate, and it all goes straight to saving these beautiful animals all around the world. And you do get a pretty cool button out of it too. Alright, here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye, so instead we're going to say Kwaherini, which means to go well. Can you all say Kwaherini? Kwaherini, my friends. I can say Asante Sana Kwaherini, which means thank you and go well. I do hope you all go well and go wild and have a great day today here in Animal Kingdom, or wherever your adventures may take you. If I've got any wilderness explorers on board, you've been riding on the Simba 1. Simba 1 is the name of your truck, and you can collect your your sticker badge. Just across from the entrance of the ride, it's a white umbrella just across from the entrance. Alright, we're just about to pull it up to our dock, so make sure you're taking a quick look around you to collect all of your personal belongings. There's the all clear from the warden. So once again, friends, my name is Savannah. You've been riding on the Simba One. Have a great day, and do come back and see us, alright? You guys were great. Everybody say jumbo, warden. Jumbo. And Quack everybody. Have a great day, guys. Watch your step down. Make sure you drink lots and lots of water today, alright?
It was very rough. I mean, very, very rough. It was like every second. Yeah, there was lots of animals, but very rough.
Awesome. Would you recommend it?
Yeah.
Awesome.